What's up, guys? I will be with you in just one moment. Once you travel around and get a sense of other cultures, you'll start to realize just how dystopian and abnormal this American 9 to 5 hustle and grind mentality really is. I really think that, and I'm not just talking about this baby boomer, pull yourself up by your bootstraps doctrine. I think the millennial generation has been psyoped into this as well with the whole rise and grind thing, hustle culture, entrepreneurship. To be honest, I'm not against entrepreneurship. I mean, I'm kind of an entrepreneur. I'm kind of in that space myself. But I'm talking about the those hustle and grind, get up early, like that type of stuff. It's really become just pseudo motivational slop these days. And I think people are starting to call it out. But back in 2022, 2023, this stuff was just infesting every corner of the internet. Like you just could not get away with it. So you felt that if you were not hustling and grinding 24/7, that you were just falling behind and you'll end up homeless on the street or something like that. But and the thing is, everybody who followed that thought that they were part of some counterculture, some rebelling against the 9 to 5. And it's just so funny because not only are you not rebelling against the system, against that 9 to 5 boomer doctrine, but the hustle culture of Alex Hormozy and all these guys, it's actually an embodiment of the status quo. And because both of these tie your self-worth to whatever your productivity is, and the only people that are judged on their productivity and their output are slaves. That's really about it. The thing is, there was this I think I read some story in a book. I think it might have been Letting Go, or it might have been David Bayer's book, or I forget which book it is, but there was this sort of blue zone in Greece. This island that's a blue zone where people live super long and they're really healthy, where they had a kind of like a 20 to 30 hour work week, and people are kind of more laid back. Not they weren't lazy. The thing is, people will spend time with their family. They will do things that are meaningful to them. And obviously, there is still some work involved just to pay bills and things like that. But this place had like the lowest cancer rates. They had such a healthy population. People were living to like 90, 100 years old, like regularly. And it was just a place where there wasn't all these chronic health conditions. And then in like the 2000s or something, they were introduced to this American 9 to 5 hustle work week where they would have to spend 40 hours a week working. What happened is that cancer rates skyrocketed. The life expectancy went down the toilet. People started developing all of these different health conditions and all these mental health issues. So obviously, the quality of life just completely tanked. So this really does away with the myth that the American 9 to 5 is the staple of human existence, when in reality, people, even medieval peasants, had more free time, had more leisure time than people in the modern America these days. I know I'm shitting on America a lot, but that's because I just feel like this place is the perfect embodiment of this modern work culture that's not even benefiting us. It'd be one thing if we were actually living in prosperity and we could afford to buy houses, we could afford healthcare and all this different stuff that should be the markers of quality of life, but it's like we can't even afford that. So we're working 40, 50, 60 hours a week, probably even more, and we still can't afford shit. We can still barely afford rent. So it's a lose-lose all around. So at what point do we start thinking outside the system? And the thing is, when if you propose any kind of alternative, if you propose like, "Hey, you know what? Maybe this isn't the best way to live." Everyone's just gonna call you lazy. Everyone's gonna call you a communist. Everyone's gonna tell you to just leave America, just move somewhere else, move to communist China, move to North Korea. And ironically, those places are probably better. Maybe not North Korea, but I mean, I'm Chinese American, so I've been to China many times. And I'm not gonna lie, like China is at least 50 years ahead of America. Like the quality of life doesn't even compare. America looks like a shithole comparison to China. And I'm not just saying this out of some kind of ethnic pride. Like even Westerners are starting to realize this because they're going to China, they're getting like MRIs done for like $100. They're having all these medical procedures done in China and even other parts of the world like Vietnam and Thailand. They're getting the same quality of healthcare as they would in America, but they're literally paying 1% of what they would pay if they were to stay in America. I mean, and the thing is, dude, I don't know what it's gonna take for people here to wake up. I just don't get it. They're just so bought into this hustle and grind religion. Like people don't even I know people like to say that America is a Christian country, but like it's really not. This is the official religion of the United States, just to hustle and grind for what? To benefit some corporation that doesn't even give a shit about you. And that's the American dream, I guess.